Welcome to the FanDuel Punch-Out. I'm Jason Gilbo, JGilbo11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J. Clay. Taking a look at tonight's 14-game slate, and it's a monster pitching night. You got all the big arms, Kershaw, Bumgarner, Scherzer, Syndergaard. I mean, you name it, they're on the hill tonight. And both you and I like a lot of pitching options. We also like a lot of value bats, so I think it's kind of a perfect fit tonight.
Yeah, see, a lot of pitching options. See. Let's get on the catcher. See, yeah.
He's not going to do that through the whole show, I promise.
I was holding a deck of cards in my hand, so I felt like I needed to make those sounds for some reason. But anyway, getting into catcher here. We're looking at Victor Martinez at 3,100. I think that's a pretty good value. What do you think about Lucroy and Posey tonight? I don't think I'm in favor of paying up for them.
No, I think you're spot on. Martinez is kind of my preferred choice up top. I just think that kind of sits well. It doesn't absolutely kill your price tag either, especially if you kind of go with a guy maybe in the 10K range like Scherzer, who's 10,500. It kind of fits right in there, so I don't mind that.
Right.
I think we're both, you and I are looking lower tonight, looking at some guys in that cheaper range. Francisco Cervelli, 2,700, kind of catches our eye just because he's hitting fifth or sixth in that Pittsburgh lineup, and going up against Aaron Blair, who just hasn't been particularly strong in the majors this year.
Yeah, and you had mentioned Jared Saltalamacchia, the salty dog, 2,500. I think that's a decent value.
Yeah, I mean, with this, Tigers team being one of the favorite spots, and obviously Porcello, not a Tiger anymore. Phil Hughes, I think he's certainly in play.
Oh, Jason, I'm starting to wear off on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've been saying Daniel Murphy's still on the Mets for like 3 weeks now. He's just not even a little on the Mets anymore.
No, he's not. I mean, same division, but
Oh man, Russell Martin at 2,300, probably not worth it with the guys we just mentioned, but I mean, once again, decent spot.
I'm going Miguel Montero, 2,300. Chase Anderson right there, 320 Wobo allowed. Miller Park, favorable spot. Cubs big Vegas favorite sniper runs, and Montero kind of that cheap catcher option. I don't mind taking a shot on.
Chase Anderson, happiest guy in baseball.
Yep, happy he's serving up runs day by day.
With a smile on his face like he's serving ice cream.
We were at first base, and there's a lot of kind of top options, and it's kind of hard to fit a guy like Anthony Rizzo into a lineup tonight, but he comes in, he could very well be one of the highest scoring hitters on tonight's slate.
Sort of the same strategy you're using with DraftKings for the Chicago stack. It's super expensive. I mean, he's 500 more than anyone else, but I think it's definitely worth it if you can sort of figure out a way to get it in.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you can go cheaper. I think, obviously it's kind of a different story from DraftKings because there was a lot of value bats. But guys like Miguel Cabrera, 4K, still a decent price, like Goldschmidt, 38. I still think you got to find a way to pay up for first base here because there's not a lot of guys that I like below Freddie Freeman at 3,300.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. I mean, I like Paul Goldschmidt again, 3,800. I think that's pretty reasonable for his price. But I mean, John Jaso, leadoff, 2,800. I think I can get behind that a little bit. Yeah,
no, I definitely agree with you there. I definitely like that. You look at Blair, I mean, he's been hit hard, obviously, in a short sample size, 374 Wobo allowed to lefties. So I'm in agreement there. I think Chase is, a cheap option that I feel comfortable with.
And Prince can't do it again, guys. I got to mention it because I always look at it and want to do it. Don't do it.
Hitting below 200. He's not getting that Chase Anderson ice cream for sure. He hasn't gotten in on that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What about Adam Lind, 2,400? Good spot for a ballpark out there in Camden Yards. Ubaldo Jimenez. I mean, it just kind of depends what one you get. But since 2014, 339 Woba, the lefties.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, 2,400, it's tough to complain about a guy that could potentially be in a nice spot and get some production.
Yeah, definitely. So he's a guy to kind of consider. Looking at second base here, Jose Altuve, kind of guy who only is expensive. He's along the lines of those Chicago bats. I like him a lot against the lefty. I like him in U.S. Cellular, but very tough fitting him into my lineup when I'm paying up for pitching.
Yeah. And I mean, he's so short. So, no, I'm just kidding.
You can't be biased against this. You know what?
I'm short too. So,
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. I definitely think he's worth his price. Like, I think he's worthy of that. It's just tough to fit in tonight, especially in a cash game where I really don't think you want to fade those top options. I mean, looking a little lower here, I think Gene Segura at 3,300. I think that's a nice way to get some value. That's pretty cheap for what he's been doing pretty much all year. So that's a guy I'm looking at. And what do you think about Jonathan Schoop? I know you like him on DraftKings. Is he someone you're looking at here as well?
He doesn't quite carry the same value as I want him to on DraftKings or on FanDuel here, because he's 2,900 over there getting the lefty Miley. I mean, certainly in play, but it's not like I was much more intrigued with him at that lower price tag, but certainly worthy of a play. And one, because there's not a ton of options down low. I think we were really looking at only Howie Kendrick at 2,400 against Weaver there, especially if he's hitting the top half of the lineup again.
Definitely.
So those are kind of the names I mentioned. I mean, you're kind of either paying up for Altuve in some sort of stack, or, I mean, do you like him as a standalone guy on FanDuel here, or are you a little different?
Yeah, I think he's more of a. I mean, Correa is nice too. I think you could do a little 2-man combo like that, and maybe figure out value around them. But yeah, definitely worth a standalone play in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. Looking at the hot corner tonight, and we noticed something here, and Manny Machado is missing. Where did he go? So down the line, maybe we'll find him. But Chris Bryant,
where's Machado?
My top option tonight, and 4,300 against Chase Anderson in his reverse splits. In that ballpark, Anderson's been crushed by righties. A big 1.42 home runs per 9, 357 WOBA allowed. Very hard to get away from Bryant. I think 4,300 is a reasonable price tag. I don't mind paying that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making tournament lineups tonight, I think you have to just let yourself make a cup stack. Just let it happen and then press submit. It'll feel good. That I'm definitely making one. I think there are some reasonable options a little lower, even on FanDuel for that pitcher spot. I think you can make it happen.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And looking kind of a little bit lower, there's a tier here in that 3K range. Travis Shaw, Nick Castellanos, Jung Ho Kang. I mean,
yeah.
3 options though. Is Castellanos your favorite?
He is out of that group, just because of his opportunity. I mean, Shaw's still batting a little deeper in the order, so I'm going to go Castellanos there. But I mean, they're all in pretty good spots, and Kang is in a good spot as well.
Yeah, and Phil Hughes, 342 WOBA allowed, 1.39 home runs per 9 to right-handers since 2014. Castellanos hitting righties pretty well, so I like that call there. Looking lower, once again, Justin Turner keeps as a guy who I keep hopping back to. I mean, he's struggling this year, but he's always in a good spot. Against Weaver, I mean, the guy's out there throwing meatballs down the plate, still serving up a ton of homers. I think Turner's a guy who I'm going to be looking at a lot tonight just because he kind of fits the bill.
Yeah, definitely with you there. Just the value keeps adding up, even though he's struggling. So you kind of just hope he turns it around at some point.
Yeah, and Kelly Johnson, he was a guy you plugged away in the cheat sheet yesterday. You were on Kelly Johnson, and today, I mean, a decent spot again.
I don't know if that was for nostalgia's sake from years ago when I was a big Braves guy, but it ended up working out, and yeah, he's in another good spot today.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we talked about Nicasio on the pitcher pod, we talked about there's being some risk because there are some lefties there, which he does struggle against 400 WOBA to lefties, which is a big concern against this Braves team, even though they've, obviously a league worst WOBA against right-handers, but still there is some general concern. And we talked about kind of being Nicasio a DraftKings only play, so I wouldn't have any shares on FanDuel. Just because there's better guys in the area. So I don't think a one-off of Atlanta bat's a bad idea.
Right. Definitely agree.
So, shortstop, and there's Machado, 3,900 at shortstop on FanDuel. A move over there, and that puts things in – it's very interesting. Now we were in that tier of third base where it was like, all right, we got Arenado, we got Bryant, we got Donaldson, we got Machado. going every night. Now it's like,
Right.
okay, now we just make it over, and now we got Bogarts, Machado, Correa.
Right. Yeah.
It's another tough call. I mean, I like Machado's price has come down 3,900. Um, and it's not a bad price tag. I know he hits righties better than lefties, but obviously he's coming around and hitting the ball well this year.
Yeah, just as plays, I like Correa more, but I think with price considered, they're about the same for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely wait, what? they're the same for you, but you like Correa a little bit more.
Like without value considered, they're the same for me. So I think I like Machado a little bit more.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Correa in that ballpark, and you were talking about maybe pairing him up with Altuve and kind of letting that fly there.
Right.
So shortstop's kind of a position where when you're looking at Aledmus Diaz 3,300, a little steep for me, but I don't mind that price tag still. It's a bummer because guys like him and Taylor Motter are such great value plays on DraftKings. They don't carry that same punt value on FanDuel.
Right.
We were only really looking at one guy kind of down low. I mean, Jordy Mercer 2,500 for the Pirates isn't a bad option.
Solid option there. I think we're looking at Pittsburgh again as sort of a value against Blair and the Braves. And I do want to make one note: Andy Burns, first name relation to Andy Richter. I'm not sure how good of a co-host he can be or a sidekick, but I'm definitely not playing him. But just an interesting fact.
We're moving on to outfield. Paying up tonight, I think, you kind of run through this list here. George Springer, Dexter Fowler, kind of the two guys I like at 4,200 if I'm paying up, if I have some extra cash. One, they can possibly fit into a little stack there. Also, I don't mind them as one-offs either.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. I mean, Houston's really solid right now, so I'm definitely buying them.
Yeah. If you want to go lower, Trumbo, Adam Jones, kind of that tier. JD Martinez, if you want to sit below 38. I mean, once again, Trumbo getting the lefty in Camden Yards. We talked about Phil. He was struggling against right-handed bats, extremely home run prone. JD Martinez coming off a big night. I like him a lot.
Definitely. And Adam Jones, you mentioned, I believe, 3,500, solid value there, and to go along with Trumbo if you want.
Yeah, and Jones is absolutely heating up. 2 hits in each of the last 3 games, 2 doubles, 2 homers. You look at that, he's finally looking like the Adam Jones of old, and that price has come up. It shot up pretty damn quick there because it just seemed like a week ago he was down at 24, and
I know
he's come around.
Those were good times. It's nice paying up for him at that price.
Yeah, I mean, looking kind of in that you like the Minnesota stack there. Miguel Sano, 3,300, an interesting play against Mike Pelfrey.
Definitely, and I think there's some standalone value with him as well. 3,300, good value for him for sure.
Yeah. Nomar Mazara, 3K. Jesse Hahn on the hill. It's not Sir Camp anymore. I think that's solid value just given he's hitting up top in that lineup. And the Vegas total is fairly high for a game out in Oakland, so I don't mind him.
Yeah, and that third Baltimore outfielder also in play, 2,800.
Yep, definitely. I like him a lot tonight, leading off there against the lefty Miley. We were talking about some Dodgers outfielders and some possible situations, and this is the one where you're going to have to kind of wait for that lineup to come out. But Trace Thompson hitting the ball really well this season. You're looking at him to possibly Dave Roberts, if he's going to sneak into the lineup and possibly become an everyday starter if that hasn't happened already.
Yeah.
I mean, great matchup for both him and Puig. I keep wanting these Dodger bats. I keep wanting to keep going back to the well with them.
Oh, it's painful. Good. It's painful on the bank account, but yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it until it adds up. I will say that. Like, I think the process is there, and I think it will hit one of these nights. Especially tonight. I like all these guys again, including Utley. Adrian Gonzalez again. I think they're all in decent spots.
Yeah, I like Matt Holliday at that price tag as well. 2,600. Bet is 361 will be allowed to right-handers. Obviously, Coors inflated, but I mean he's still not good outside of Coors.
That's a surprising spot for him. It kind of takes Drury out of play a little bit because I like him quite a bit more. But I think those are two guys you can look at in that range as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't see much lower. I mean, we talked some possible punt options. There's not a lot down there.
Mm-mm.
Stephen Moya for the Tigers, if he's in the lineup, would be kind of a cheap guy. But also double check that. I mean, a lefty against Phil Hughes in that Vegas total could be in play for punt.
Definitely.
So that's going to wrap things up here with the FanDuel Punch Out. Be sure to check out dailyfantasycafe.com for all our great tools and content.